In this lesson, you will learn how to scan equipment in after it returns from a job. There are two ways that you can scan equipment in. The first is to go to the return screen of the manifest that was created when you scanned a job out. To do this, go to the Warehouse menu, then click Return Manifest. The most recent manifest will be displayed, but you can also search for a specific manifest or view all manifests in your system. Double-click on the manifest for the job that you want to return. This will take you to the return screen. Like on the prep screen, there are several ways that you can scan equipment on the return screen. Let's start by scanning the barcodes found on the JBL line array amp racks. Since the contents of the amp racks are marked as permanent, the contents are automatically scanned in with the amp rack. Another way to scan is by virtual scan. Once you have verified that a particular barcode has in fact returned, you can bypass the physical scanning by double-clicking on the line item. We only recommend doing this when you can physically see the returned item. Virtually scanning an item that has not physically returned can mess up your availability. You can also virtually scan multiple items at once. Select the items that you want to virtually scan, then click Scan Selected Items In. If you can verify that each piece of equipment has physically returned, then you can select all the items on the manifest and click Scan Selected Items In. This will virtually scan the entire manifest. Again, we only recommend doing this when you are 100% sure that each item has actually returned. There's a permission that will grant or deny a user permission to do this in their security settings. Another way to scan equipment is by using the Free Scan In screen. Any item that you scan from the Free Scan In screen will be returned to its respective manifest. This is especially useful when you have multiple jobs returning at once that are all put into the same return area of the warehouse. Instead of having to figure out which job each piece of equipment came from, you can just free scan it in and Flex will do the sorting for you. Let's scan a few barcodes from the equipment that we are returning from the warehouse training job. When you scan a non-serialized item on the Free Scan In page, it will prompt you to choose which job you want to return it to. Select the job, enter a quantity, then click Accept. Now that we've scanned a few items in from the Free Scan In page, let's update the return manifest for the warehouse training job and see if the return quantities have updated. Let's go back to Free Scan In and scan the rest of the items that returned. Now let's update the return manifest again and see if there are any items that were not returned. You can see that 2 L620 and 2 AC power cables have not yet been returned. This is why monitoring the manifest return screen is useful, because you can see the exact items and quantities that didn't return from a job. In this example, let's say that the truck driver just put these cables in the cab of his truck and forgot to take them out. Once the driver brings them back into the warehouse, we can scan them and then finalize the return manifest. Now all of this equipment has been returned to the system as available inventory. If you have any questions about scanning equipment in, please email support@flexrentalsolutions.com.